Well, hi everybody. How you doing tonight? Or this afternoon or whatever. It's 6:30. I was going to do this before noon today. First, you got to get up before noon. I was up till 3 o'clock reading. I can't believe that. I got my nights and days mixed up again. Anyway, I want to thank anybody who's watching this, and sorry I didn't get back sooner. I've got enough stuff written down here to do 5 videos. I know I'm not going to go on for 2 hours, but there's just been so much coming and going, and so many people reading that I didn't figure I'd be missed. But I've had some wonderful people get a hold of me and tell me to do a reading. They wanted me to do one, so that made me feel good. And I mean, not that I need to be cheered on, but sometimes I feel like there's so many other good readers out there that you don't need to listen to me. But I want to thank the ones that thank you all that subscribe to me and that watch my videos, and especially for your comments and stuff. It always makes me feel good and lets me know what to read on. But there are so many things. It's such a crap shoot out there. And I know what's been on most people's mind this week has been Thomas and Supreme Court Clarence Thomas, and that state house in Tennessee. That is totally ridiculous. I do think that maybe they did a good thing there if they made heroes out of some people that needed to get to the top right away, because these people would be good for the United States of America. They might end up in our Senate pretty quick. And so we'll read on them and see if they're going to get reinstated. We're going to trying to think of if you've never watched my channel before, my name's Lynn. Want to thank you for watching, for listening, and just see what we can come up with here. I'm going to try to be nice and not show any anger. It is Easter Sunday, and I'm going to try. It's although it's getting over already, I wanted to get a hold of you earlier in the day, and I just been really busy getting everything ready for my daughter, who's going to come spend a week with me, and time got away from me like always to get to cleaning, and then I'm just off in another world. So I want to thank anybody that's watching, and I want to thank my friend Mark Rhodes, because he always cheers me on. And just see what we can come up with here. I had everybody's always wanting a timeline. I can't do a timeline. We can, like Linda always says, just ask for the most benevolent outcome and know that everything's going to be all right. Because we are where we are, it is what it is, and it's going to work. It's going to be just fine. It is going to be just fine. The weirdest thing I think I'm going to read on first, because it is different. It's something that has not been in the news this week. But I think it's going to be in the news right away, because I had one of my dreams. I have a deal that I do automatically in my sleep. That's because I take third person in dreams sometimes and watch it like a fly from the wall. It's like if something... I don't do that with all my dreams, but if something profound or something in bright technicolor or something, this was evil, what I seen, but I don't believe in demons or evil things, but I have woke myself up maybe twice a year in the last 10 years, literally saying that Lord's Prayer out loud. And it's never easy for me to start it, because I'm so terrified when I start it, because I feel like I'm being invaded. You know, I can't explain it, but it's a horrible feeling. It's in your dreams. It's a dream fear. But a couple of nights ago, I woke myself up. In fact, I got clear to the end of it. The last words woke me literally all the way awake, and I thought, oh, thank God that's over. And then I was going to go back to sleep, and I thought, no, get up and get a drink of water or something, move around a little bit, because you don't want to go back in and dream that again. But believe it or not, I was dreaming about Steve Bannon. And he was sitting in front of me, and he looked like a demon. I mean, I was actually afraid of him in my dreams. I can't imagine even be afraid of him if he walked in my door. I know I could hold my own and bully him out of here, because he's people that carry on like he does are nothing but scaredy cats and buttholes anyway. But in my dream, I was terrified of him because he was a demon. And when after I was up a few minutes and got to thinking it over, I thought, I don't think that was really him. I think it was the ideals and the concepts he's putting out in the world. And I had went to bed wondering, that was, I think, about the same day they threw those two Justins out of the state house in Tennessee, the young black men. And I was thinking, why is it so important that they don't want to stop these guns coming in? And then I thought, well, you know, they keep calling it Occam's razor or whatever. Maybe it's because they really are planning something bad. I'm not going to go there or say that, but maybe they want all the guns they can get, so because these militias are huge compared to what we know. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but that's what, you know, how you're trying to figure out what the big problem is. I mean, what would be the problems with voting down assault rifles in any state with common, you know, it's about 80%. About 80% of the public would like that. So why is it such a chore, and why is it so hard, and why do they stand against it so hard? And we know that they're getting paid off by the National Rifle Association, NRA. But at the same time, even the people in the NRA's got to be tired of having little children shot in schools. And then instead of making the rule, even if they were going to keep the guns, instead of making the rules more strict, they just start making them more lenient, and everybody can carry them, and all of a sudden little kids are not young, whatever. Most boys at 18 are not mature, so I'm calling them little kids. Can go get them, and it's just, why is it so important? So that's what I asked myself before I went to bed, is why is this so important that they just mass sell these guns all over to people in the United States? And then I have this dream where Steve Bannon's sitting in front of me, almost like trying to challenge me. I think that's why I started praying, because I was actually fearful. Anytime I wake myself up saying the Lord's Prayer, it's because it's for protection. And I'm not somebody who goes to church over Sunday, but that was one of the first prayers I ever learned, and I use it daily in my life. It straightens out your chakras. It's you know, that's one of the prayers that Jesus told him to pray. If you need help, pray this prayer. But anyway, it was really scary. And I just thought, so I thought I would read on him. And then that's what I thought after I thought about it, I thought, well, maybe he's going to be in the news right away. Maybe there's something coming up for him. So read about him and do a little prayer first to bring in the best results. And so I was going to start out by reading on Steve Bannon, and then I'll go to some of these other things that have been all over the news. But I wanted to do this a little bit different, or whatever, start out with something that everybody else hasn't read on. In fact, I always watch the Petty Boots show with Becca and Johnny and Jen Lynn on Sunday nights, and I'm missing it. But of course, I stream, so I'll be able to get it. And I was already just put it on, and then I stopped it because I knew I was going to do a video. But that's where I get most of my questions from most of the time. But I just came up with everything going on in the news this time to get my questions this week. So let's see. Steve Bannon, what's going on with you? Why am I dreaming that you're a demon and you're sitting across from me challenging me? You're going to take people I love away or do harm to something that I feel terrified about. Why are my guides talking to me about you in my sleep? That's the best question. Why are my guides talking to me about you in my sleep? Mr. Three Shirts. I had to put my little, I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I just, you know how usually when we talk bad about people, it is because on some level we're a little afraid of them. I want to see if I can get past that, but some days are better than others. And I want to say how much I love all your comments and just people that's have people that's text messaged me that's got my number and stuff that I've read for over the years that just wanted to know if I was okay. So I want to thank you for checking up on me. I guess I need to be checked up on. Anyway, this is Steve Bannon. That other light over here does feel pretty bright, but I'm just going to leave it on. I'm not going to turn it any lower. It doesn't matter what I look like, not at this time in my life. So let's see, Steve Bannon, what are you up to? What's going on? Are you up to more horrible stuff than we even know of? I mean, he's trying to, you know, start a fascist war all over the world. We know that he was over in other countries pushing the same crap he pushes here. But we knew that already. This was something so evil. That's what it did. It just struck me as evil. Something very, very evil. So anyway, that's what let's see what comes up. Oh, I hate to read on. I hate to even, these cards are all full of, these are the ones I always read political with anyway. They're always heavier than the other cards, not because of the cards themselves. They're the regular Rider-Waite Brilliant. I love this deck. I need to get another one because they're getting worn out, but they just now got where I can shuffle. I got a pain in my side just thinking of you. Well, I couldn't even, I was really careful cutting them, and this even flipped over upside down. So this is the Chariot. He's trying to come somewhere really quick or go somewhere really quick. So maybe he's going to be leaving the country. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what this means. Well, I think I was going to put it up over the top of the reading, but I think I'm going to put it back in the reading in case it comes up again. This could just be him. This could be the signifier that I've got him. So I'm going to lay it back down there and shuffle one more time and cut again. Steve Bannon, what about everything in him? He is the mess. And we've all known that for a long time. Okay. Got the Wheel of Fortune. So something's really changing for him. Something's coming to an end, and there's a new beginning starting. Let's hope that this is maybe an end to his career of trying to cause hate and discontent. That would be nice. But we start right out with the Wheel of Fortune. And the influence and obstacle around it is he has just been working so hard for this disruption for so long. And of course, I think part of it's not so much disruption as it is making money, but this is not a money card. This is disruption. What this dream was not about money. It was about death and destruction. I can't explain it, but it was a horrible dream, and he was right in the middle of it. Well, this is the foundation. Whatever's coming up about him, I felt like it. My immediate thought that I went to is that he was going to be in the news, and whatever he's going to be in the news for, it's not good. They've got something really, really big on him. I feel like that's what this is. Something really, really big on him. That's bad for him. So they've been investigating him. People in our DOJ's been investigating him. And they're going to shine a bright light on something he's been doing. I think this is more... There's some information coming out on him that is even going to shock the world. It's right above the world, the sunshine deal. Some of this evil work that he's been doing. Look at this. But let's go on and see why am I dreaming about it? Because they're on him. They're getting ready to... I feel like we're going to hear about indictments or him being arrested. Even though his name hasn't even been mentioned or anything lately. I think he's going to come into the picture. They're right on him. The law is on top of him. And here he is, the King of Pentacles, trying to get away with everybody else's money. And this is also just like a Chariot card at times. And I remember the Chariot card fell out. So this sounds silly, but I feel like I'm being told that whatever they've got on him, he almost knows it's coming and he's thinking about leaving the country. If he could figure out how to take enough money with him to survive wherever thinks he's going to go to. The energy about that is staying here and fighting this. He's always been so full of bullshit. He's always thought he could, I don't know. I think of what's her name, Whimsy says he's a double agent or something, that the reason he stayed out of prison as long as he has is because of all the information he's given our government. But she's right a lot of times. I'm not saying that's wrong, but this is standing your ground right after thinking I need to leave town. He's not that great at standing his ground, not without Donald Trump behind him. So he's worried. He's worried. He's worried because he knows if Trump goes down, he's going down with him. Look at this. He's chained to the devil. That's what's going on. That's what he's worried about. He knows that he can't stand his ground high enough if Trump goes down, that he's taking him down. And I think he sees the writing on the wall. That's why he's feeling so vicious. But whatever he's got planned, I love this. This is the outcome. Whatever he's got planned, or whatever he was planning, or whatever he was up to, once it gets exposed, we're all going to be happy. So that would mean we got a female prosecutor here. Prosecution for him. And they've got records on some money that he's holding that he shouldn't. I hate to keep saying Russia, 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 but it might be something to do even with Russia. I don't know. You just wonder if law has anything to say about this, but I'm going to end it there saying it has something to do with Russia. So I asked about Steve Bannon, and he's got a total, like, throw on the brakes. This life's over, you're starting a new life. Well, we know he's not seen the light. He's been working really hard to cause all kinds of hate and destruction and tear people up. He's been being investigated by our government for a long time. Of course, we've known that. But without, all of a sudden, there's going to be a lot of light shown on him by, like an indictment or a persecutor or something. We're going to hear something about the law coming after him. Now, his first impulse for him is to run, take what money he can get a hold of and run, because he thinks it'd be a waste of time taking the high ground, because he knows that the writing's on the wall, that Trump's going down. And he also knows if Trump's going down, that he's going to take him with him. Him and probably 60 other people. So this is us celebrating when we find out whatever this news is. This is a female prosecutor that's probably made the indictment. Something to do with money and records. Could be something to do with this Georgia stuff. I don't think he was involved in that, but it could be. Or it could be some new information coming out about Russia. So, don't know if that makes any sense or not, but that's what's going on. I think we're going to be hearing about Steve Bannon. In the middle of all this other chaos, maybe they're going to wait a while before we hear about any of the other people in Congress or something, because they're going to take down the big ones first and then come back after them right after they're all arrested, and that may be a year from now. But I think we're going to hear about Steve Bannon quicker than that. So anyway, I don't have to explain to anybody watching this channel what happened in Tennessee. They call them the Tennessee Three now. And I was really proud. I was so happy that and I don't get emotional. I'm not that emotional person. I'm home by myself, and I've never been a big hoorayer or booer or clapper or whatever, but I clapped right out loud when I seen that they sent Kamala Harris to Tennessee to give a speech. Of course, none of the news media has carried her speech. I mean, that I know of, they didn't carry her whole speech. So they might have mentioned she gave a speech, and they might have showed a line from it. I don't know. I don't watch them anymore, but I know that I just found out today. I don't remember what it was that was on TV, on something on YouTube, that she had a hell of a speech. And I'd have liked to have watched it. Maybe I'll have to go on and find it. So I was really happy that Joe Biden took her out of her box he keeps her in, and actually sent her to get some publicity for her, and to get some and into a place where we needed some of our big guns to let the Tennessee State House to know that what they were doing was not right and not good, and hopefully not going to be that accepted. And from what I understand, these guys could be put back in there tomorrow by the people in their district just coming up and saying, yes, we want them back in there. But they're saying, the head of the Tennessee House, I guess is what they call that, they're saying that that they don't have to put them back in there. That they can make them wait till the next election. Well, I don't know. It looks like that's against the law. It says even if they get reinstated, they don't have to reinstate them. So that's like old white guys just taking the law into their own hands. It's like we don't have to follow the laws. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do that. And believe me, we'd have never thought of doing this till after all the changes that's been made in our government in the last 4 years. So that's so sad. And I can't believe that regular people don't realize this. But anyway, let's see what else is on here that maybe all the other readers haven't read about. I haven't watched. I think I watched Sterling this morning. Oh no, it's been so long ago I don't remember. So we got everybody's talking about Judge Thomas. Let's see, is he going to resign? Says he's not. But I think there's a bunch of dirt coming out on him. Clarence Thomas. I think there might. Let's see what the cards say. I don't think this thing's over, and I don't think he can just say I'm not going to resign, or I didn't know that this or that, or I was told by somebody else that I didn't have to claim this or that. Clarence Thomas. I heard this billionaire that funds Turning Point and some of that stuff, the one that Thomas was traveling with, has all kinds of fascist stuff on his yacht, even pictures of relics from Hitler relics and that kind of stuff in all of his collections, and that he's always been a big fascist, whatever, everything that he's promoted to his friends and stuff in high places. So that's kind of interesting too, because they've been friends a long time. They've been friends a long, 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 long time. So I don't know. Let's see what comes out of here. Clarence Thomas, somebody got more dirt on you? What's going on with you? Knight of Wands, Knight of Wands. So you thought you didn't need any authority? What's this? Knight of Wands for the signifier. Somebody's taking a deeper look at your Knight of Wands. You're being investigated. And I got a feeling it's not just on it's not just on the stuff we've heard about. I think there's more coming out. This means more to come. Something deeper than what we've heard so far. Something really off the wall. Is somebody blackmailing him? Because this feels sexual. This feels, Anyway, let's see. This is Thomas. See if any of this stuff's coming out. Woo. I know DOJ can't interfere with the Supreme Court or the president, but this is big government looking in. I think it's investigating because of this card here. Looking into something that's going on in his life. And then we got the World card. So something's coming to an end as he knows it. Is he going to resign? Is that what's going on? Why is his world changing? He's the only one that could change it because he's got all the power. Wow, look at this. There's more stuff coming out right away. I don't know what's coming out, but it's not good. I think he might be resigning, people. Look at this. I can't believe this. That's pretty good. This is payments. Slow moving payments, but it's payments and steady. So we know that's already been exposed. But I don't think that tower's broken up over what we've heard already, unless this just keeps branching out. A lot of work being done to cover everything up, although it's kind of late because I think the cat's out of the bag. In fact, was it Midas Touch? I heard that somebody wrote a book or something about this a long time ago. Of course, nobody pays any attention to books, you know. Most people don't even read. But here's the energy around these secrets that are going to be coming out is that there's a whole frickin' bunch of them, and they just come out boom, 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 boom. So he may be getting out of there. He may just be deciding that it's time for him to get out of the Supreme Court before this all gets exposed. Something's getting ready to get exposed here. Something about minors, minor children, money. He's definitely going away. He's going away. Maybe this is just a low profile, but he's going away. I think he's leaving the Supreme Court. So even though it doesn't look like it at this time, he thinks he's on his high horse and he's the winner. They've got more information on him. They're taking a deep dive, and it's not good what they're finding. And it's stuff that's actually against the law, big time. Of course, as much as those bribes was, that's pretty much against the law, whatever, big time. Something is going to change his world, and he knows that he needs to get out of there right away. So I think he might be leaving right away. I mean, I don't mean like tomorrow or the next day, but within the next few months, I think we might hear about him deciding he's sick and has to retire. It will be because of the bribes that he's been working very hard to cover up. And it's going to be a lot more information coming through on this. This exposure on some of the things that he's been up to isn't done yet. And this is for YouTube, for entertainment only. But it might have something to do with underage people. I don't know why, but that's what I felt when I turned that over. But anyway, he's going away. He's going away. So that's not... Looks like I wouldn't want those cards if I was him. So it looks like something really bad's going on there. More so than's hit the surface, and there's a lot more that could be coming out. So maybe that's what scares him out of there, so he doesn't go and get in trouble or bad trouble or something. All he has to do is leave the court, and that way he can still leave and, you know, with his bullshit that I was on the Supreme Court and I did this and this and this for all these years. I had MTG down here, but I'm not going to read on that asshole. Everybody knows that she's on her way out. We'll just put it that way. Won't be quick enough for me. It'll probably be another year, but she's going to get caught up in this shit. Let's read on this Justin Pearson and Justin Jones and Gloria Johnson. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them standing up in the State House. And they're really talking up these men, but I think she did a great job to stand with them. That took a lot of guts. But because she was a woman, you don't hear that much about them already. I'm not saying that she's more so a hero than the men, but she's as much a one. And some of the news media doesn't make her sound that way. They make her sound like she's just an afterthought because she didn't get kicked out by one vote because her skin was white. We know that. But I'm wondering how to ask this because we know they're going to get reinstated. Sounds like that's not a hard cookie to figure out. So if they get reinstated, will they get back in there this year, or do they have to wait for an election to do it again? They should be able just to go back in there. Because, in fact, it's the rule that if they get put back in there, they can't even get put out. They can only put you out once, and if you get pushed right back in there by your incumbents, then you can't be put out. So that's the way the law is written in Tennessee. They can't figure out some way to rewrite it because, oh, well, it is Republicans. So what I'm going to ask, I guess, about them, are they going to get put right back in? Are we going to have to wait for an election? I'm going to do two different sides here. Oh, I cut it right where the chariot is. It looks like maybe they're just going to get right back in. That already answered the question, but I'm going to think that's what they are. Representatives to the House, I guess, in Tennessee. They call it the State House. So anyway. I'm going to do the left side for getting put right back in and the right side for them having to wait for an election. If they wait for an election, they might end up running for the federal House or Senate because they've made these people heroes already. So we're going to do 3 down the left, or will they get put right back in, and 3 down the right, or will it take them a year? And see if there's some answers here. I'm afraid to turn them over. So we got a, wow. This is like, yes, they'll have to put them back in because this is the law. Wow. Double law. Like if it goes to the Supreme Court, I don't know something like that ever would, but yes, they're going to rule for that they have to put him back in. And here's judges ruling on it. And then we've got not yes, but hell yes. So that's for getting put right back in. For having to wait a year, it's really silly even to look at for having to wait a year. Maybe this is just next year they'll be back in there if they want to be after the next election. Here's the strength card. And then I got go into smoother water, so I've got a feeling that this is what I'm feeling from these cards. I feel like this means yes, that they're going to get right back in, and I don't think they're going to be able to stop them. This is within the next election or something. If they want to get in, they're like they got the strength to get right in there, but I think one of them is going to try for a different seat. One of them's going to try, if they have to wait for the next election, I think one of them might be trying to go up to the United States Senate or House or something. They can't. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you can go straight to the Senate. I guess you can. Not usually, but maybe. These people got a lot of gravitas. They got a lot of that Martin Luther King energy. They got people around them. Either one of these guys, when they're talking, they have it. They have it. That's what my guys are saying. They have it. So they're going to be new heroes in the Democratic Party. And they need to be kind of protected for it. They're going to have a lot of people wanting to do them harm because there's a lot of people that know this already. So they need to really pay attention where they're going and what they're doing and who's around them. So yeah, it looks like by these, I'd say they're going to get right back in. If they end up blocking them in the end, I don't think it's going to work. And then I got a question here that I think I might have asked this maybe 8 or 9 months ago or maybe a year ago or something. But like I said, the only other reader I watched Sterling this morning, and it's always good food for thought. I love him. And he still, I think I'd heard him mention it before, says that Trump might end up going on a golf trip to Saudi Arabia and staying there, even though I don't think they want him in Saudi Arabia. Truth be told, I don't see where he could benefit any country if he didn't have the power of the presidency behind him. But will he try to flee? Because we know that all these indictments are coming down, and there ain't no way he's going to get out of these. I don't care how many people are running around with their AR-15s or whatever. And that's another thing to read on. I didn't even write that down, but I'm going to read on that next. Why is this little limberdick guy in the Texas Senate? I mean, he's in the United States Senate, but I think he might be a representative. The guy that used to be the Tubberville. Tommy Tubberville. What in the fuck is he up to trying to mess with our military? That makes you wonder if there's more to this giving guns to everybody. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go back to see, what was I getting ready to read on? I read on Thomas, Steve Bannon. Oh, will Trump flee the country? That's good when he's not even on the top of my list, and I forget I was getting ready to read on him. Will Trump try to flee the country before this is over, or will he flee the country? All he has to do is go somewhere and not come back. And even if they took his passports and stuff, they're not going to shoot his plane down if he takes off, and you know damn well they're going to let him land because he was a president. So, or maybe, depends on where he tries to go. But anyway, so is Trump going to try to flee the country? I'm not even going to say to where. He says Saudi Arabia, but I'm not even sure he'd be welcome there. But let's see, is Trump going to try to flee the country in the next year? Let's see. I want to wait for this for a couple of years. In the next year, is Trump going to try to flee the country? Present, he's still under the delusion he doesn't have to. In the past, in the present, he's such a bully. He still thinks he can fight his way out of this. The challenge is staying out of jail. We definitely got him. And the outcome is Wheel of Fortune. Well, he knows his fate's sealed, or his fate is sealed, but will he try to flee the country? Got a world card. Yeah, he might be running somewhere in the world. The two main arcanas together. Wheel of Fortune, the end of what's going on now, and the world. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him try to flee the country. I didn't think he would, but after seeing these cards, we got him feeling in the past that he didn't have any worries. in the present. He's trying to bully his way out of, actually, the challenge is jail. And the Wheel of Fortune is an end to his life as he knows it. And the world is, maybe he would try to flee to somewhere else in the world. So I would say, not that he's going to do it, but he's damn sure been thinking about it. He's had all this stuff. There's a plan somewhere on the back burner with all this stuff in there, trying to figure out where he's going to go and why he's going to go and when he's going to go if things don't get better. And I don't think things are going to get better for him. There is no way they're going to get better for him. So let's do this Tommy Tubberville. Why is he trying? He's blocking all these different, I didn't realize this until I heard somebody talking about it today, but all these top military people from the Pentagon down, I guess, get put up for their promotions or for the pecking order or whatever in the militaries, on down to the other smallest officers too. And I didn't realize that it goes in front of Congress every year. And it's always just been a big bulky vote. Yeah, we vote for the military to be able to promote people and put them on up the ladder and, you know, run the military. And now all of a sudden, we've got Tommy Tubberville, who doesn't even know how to spell, I'm not going to say it, but we got Tommy Tubberville, who is dumber than a rock. Some of the questions that he asked and answered about that January 5th phone call and stuff. I mean, this man is dumber than dumb. But I guess he knew his football because he was a football coach. And, you know, especially in the South or in Texas, that's all you got to be is a fucking coach. So that's always just been the Congress and the Senate vote yes, or wherever he's at. They all just vote yes, and they put for the military to be able to put through their promotions. But it says it has to be unanimous, and he's holding out. He won't vote for it. So this is what all the stuff that needs to be changed in our government. Nobody ever went in that got all these fascists elected and then tried to tear our government apart before. And there's so many loopholes in it that it's ridiculous, but because it had all been done on honor and for the good of the country for all these years, it's not like that anymore. Because we got all these fascist people in the House is full of them, and of course, and so the Senate's got some in it too, and they're just wanting to tear our government apart. They don't care what they have to do, and that's why I haven't read on it yet, but I would be really, really shocked if they didn't vote to not refinance the government. And I know that's not what it's called, refinancing, but that's what it is, to pay our debt from the one that Trump ran up. You know, now that he's out of office and we need to pay those debts, those little fuckers are in there voting against it. They're going to vote against it. They're going to see if they can hang us out to dry, because if they can mess up our credit, mess up the military, arm 200,000 people with assault rifles, I think they could take over the United States. And with a good, strong military and a good chain of command, there's no way they could do that. So I even think that might be behind that. So I'm going to ask, when I read these cards on this Tubberville, or whatever in the fuck his name is, I'm really angry about him doing this. If he has ulterior motives. We know he's a fucking fascist, just, excuse me, I know, a flippin' fascist, just like all the rest of them in there. But this does not benefit anybody but other countries and people that want to see our military weakened. So that right there, had he even done something like this 5 years ago, even his people in his own party would have been calling him a traitor immediately. And this is for entertainment only, YouTube. So what's going on? Is he a traitor? Is this what's going on with this Tommy Tuberville? Fuckhead. That really pisses me off. Well, he's got the big guns after him. He thinks this makes him the most important man in the world. Now he's in charge of the military. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this off very long. I think they're coming after him. Truth is coming right after him. Right after him. The influence over this is what's right. The foundation of this is people rushing in. That could be taken two ways. That could have been what's on his mind. But anyway, it looks like Judgment. I'm going to draw some more cards before I say another word, because this is going a totally different direction. Okay, so let's go back here. Let me draw them real quick. Good. I like the ending. Yeah, this was planned. This is to make our nation weaker. It's not going to sit well with anybody. But he's thinking if he can weaken it enough, then they could come rushing in there and just cause havoc on everything. We're going to be hearing more about this. This is just the tip of the iceberg on him, too. There's more going on behind this, and let's just hope that somebody's been doing some kind of research on it. Somebody's paying attention to something. There's so much crap going on. I don't know if there's enough people out there to pay attention to everything. But this is deeper than it looks, just right up on the front. And then we got, in the future, this is kind of from the Trump Foundation. They're the ones behind this. That was the energy around that. They've been working hard at this. It's like a, like I said, I think that first insurrection was just a practice. And I hate to tell people that, but I don't think they're going to get away with it, but I think they're planning more stuff, and it's going to be coming out in the open. And this is confusion in our house, in the House and the Senate, because they didn't even think about this being done, and it's not going to work. It is not going to work. They're going to get around this. So let's see how they're going to get around it. I don't know. They might have some dirt on him and throw him out of the Senate. I don't know. The Democrats don't play those kind of games usually, but this is him leaving. At least I can't believe that Texas wouldn't reelect him. Those people are whatever. But, you know, they're not all like that in Texas. I think Texas is almost a blue state, but I think it's so jury-rigged that that's why, otherwise they wouldn't even have the same governor they had. I don't think their governor would have been reelected if it wasn't all gerrymandered. It said rigged, maybe rigged too. Who knows? Yeah, he's one evil person. Is he going to get away with this? I'm going to just cut the cards to see if there's a yes or no there. He can't get away with this. On one of the shows, they even said something about what they could do is not really confirming people, just putting volunteers in. Well, that's what was wrong with Donald Trump's government. He had so many people in there that they're not calling them volunteers, but substitute people into those places. That's how he was trying to take over our government. And this is going to even make it worse. So this is scarier than hell. All this stuff is scary. It's like a big, it's so, some of this stuff seems really obvious to what they're up to. I hope, I'm not trying to start trouble, and I feel like it is going to come out all right. And, but I just think there's so much more than what most people see that meets the eye because of all the garbage coming from all the different directions out there. So yeah, he's a butthole. And oh, is he going to stay in office next time? Is he going to be around here? Well, he's not going to get enough money to run. Looks like that would be a no. So anyway, I'm thinking he won't get back into office again. I can't believe that, even coming from Texas, but we'll see. And the abortion pill, I had that written down, but I think that's just going to go back and forth. Now we got two different judges fighting over it. Just more shit to tear our government apart. And we know Jack Smith's doing good, so I don't need to read on him. Charges for people in Congress, we know they're coming. I was hoping they were going to come really quick. I don't think so. But that is why they're all freaking out. I know I put a note up here at the top of this, and it says, what I'm wondering about, it's not just that the whole Republican Party is compliant with these assholes. It's why are they compliant? Why? And I think that's some of the stuff I've been talking about. I think this runs longer and deeper and more evil than we ever thought about. And everybody's just running around so busy in their own life, they don't even want to get involved in what's going on because they just assume it's going to be okay. You know, just like they say, the evil is when good people do nothing. I don't know. I don't know what good people can do. But anyway, I'm not going to talk to you guys any longer. I was going to read on some other stuff. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow and read on some other stuff. But I want to hope everybody had a good meal and a good happy Easter today. Actually, today I've ate some cottage cheese with tomato sliced up in it. I'm trying to lose some weight. And so anyway, I feel really good, but I'll probably eat something again, and I shouldn't this late because it's already 7:30, and I don't like to eat after 4. But anyway, I love you guys, and I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I didn't sound too down. That's one of the reasons it's so hard for me to come on, because I was thrilled, you know, that they finally did indict Trump. And I was glad the way they went about it and very happy with all that stuff. But everybody else was talking about that. And I thought, well, they didn't want to hear me saying I was happy about it. But most other things seem so negative. I just was trying to make you all think that everything's going to be all right. And it is going to be all right. Because we all chose to come back in at this time. And we all chose to deal with whatever's being dealt up. And whatever that is, it is. And it'll work. And we asked to be here, and we're here for that reason. So anyway, I love you all, and thank you for watching if you're still watching, and namaste.